Hey, Growth Squad, how you doing? Hope you're having a great week so far. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Now, really, I know a lot of people are lying to themselves and they're thinking that they're taking care of themselves. Listen, I'm not getting all in your business, but I am. Take care of you. Man, I'm so amazed when we look at the news, social media, so many people who are passing away. And some of it you can't control it, right? And others I'm like, man, reports are coming out how, they just didn't take care of themselves. And I made a commitment this year, and I hope you've made that same commitment. I'm going to do much more taking care of myself. And I'm going to show you a way to get it done in just a moment. Let's pray. God, thank you again for this moment, for this time. And be with us, we ask. Amen. Have you ever thought about why people have accountability partners? In fact, let me know down in the chat. Let me know down in the comments. Do you have an accountability partner? Now, one of the worst things we can do, I think, this is just my offering, is to get an accountability partner that's a person that's afraid to hurt your feelings. That really doesn't work. Oftentimes we find ourselves, like for instance, if you get a coach at the gym, a trainer, usually that person is somebody you don't know. Usually that trainer at the gym is a person that's, there to do a job, there to help you get some results, and they don't mind hurting your feelings. In other words, they don't mind telling you that you're slacking off. They don't mind telling you that, hey, you're lying. Have you ever told somebody like, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z, and the person's like, I don't see the results. You got to be lying. You're missing something. Something isn't adding up. Almost like your kids. Sometimes you ask your kid, did you do your homework or you do this X, Y, and Z? And you're like, well, the results are not matching what you said you put in. Right? And so oftentimes accountability partners are people that don't care about our feelings. And when I say that respectfully, because of course, nobody's out here making it their business to crush your heart or to make you feel bad about yourself. No. But accountability partners are concerned with one thing. You know what that one thing is? The truth. Accountability partners are only concerned with ensuring that you and I stop living a lie or stop lying to ourselves and start walking in our truth. And this year, in fact, I was looking at, I don't know if it was a YouTube video or a podcast or something, where there was a gentleman talking about the fact that the best coach, if you have a coach, your coach must have a coach or else they will only be able to take you so far. Accountability partners must also have accountability partners or else they can only take you so far. I'm encouraging you this year. I'm encouraging you this week. I'm encouraging you this day to strongly consider if you got some things you're trying to reach, some things you're trying to accomplish. You see how fast we got to this point in this year? Yeah, the time ain't playing with you. Time is not waiting for anybody. Time is moving and time is doing what it does. It is up to us to make sure we fill in the time with meaningful things that's actually moving the needle in our lives. Check it out. I remember the first time I went to the gym seriously. Now I say that because, I've been going to the gym for years. But I kind of been like, kind of just doing something. You know what I'm saying? Not talking about reason. I'm talking about this 20 years ago. The first time I actually went to the gym with purpose. Prior to that 20-year mark, prior to that, I should say, prior to the year 2000, let's say 2000, 2002, somewhere around there. I had gone to the gym, but I was going off of what I learned from, some coach in high school and, doing the regular sets and the regular reps and getting regular results. That's basically what I was doing. And I heard a sermon the other day. This guy talked about how he went to his trainer again this year, and his trainer was like, man, what you been doing? And he kind of told him what he was doing and how much he was benching. And the guy said, but you were benching that this time last year. And almost stunned him. He was like, yeah, you right. And it's like he got this revelation that you can go to the gym and do the same thing. But if you expect different results, you got to do something new at the gym. And I use the gym as an analogy because it's the easiest thing. Typically, when I'm sharing, but whatever it is, I'm going to encourage you if you're really trying to move the needle. Right, that first time I went to the gym, I was almost adamant that I didn't want a trainer. Right, I was saying to myself, I can get in here and do it. But I hired a trainer for like 3 days. I think it was 3 days. I said, give me the basics and show me what I need to do to progress. Show me what I can do. Show me what progressive overload look like. Just show me all the basic steps. What should I eat? What should I drink? What should I not eat? What should I not drink? I took those 3 days and man, I took mental notes like nobody's business. And I lost whatever I lost in a short amount of time. Excuse me. But I had a person, at least for 3 days, that held me accountable. Now, when I didn't continue with him, I had a buddy of mine who we both decided that we were going to go on this fitness journey together. And so we held each other accountable. Phone calls, pop-ups, checking your refrigerator, seeing what you got going on. Because accountability partners, once again, care about nothing but the truth. In my time working in the community, I've facilitated a lot of things. I remember one year we were approached at a building that we had on our property. We were approached by an organization called Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, it was interesting because as they approached us to ask us about using our facility to have meetings, right? I didn't fully understand because I never had gone through that process or ever had that challenge before to where I needed to have Alcoholics Anonymous. And so I said, well, let's talk about what you all actually do. Not so much I was grilling them, but I really was interested. Number one, because I had to share this with a whole committee of people who would make the final decision and vote. And number two, I was curious. How do you get people who have been drinking for 30 years, 10 years, 40 years, 5 years, how do they get to a point where they can actually overcome their habit of alcoholism? And so they didn't call the person an accountability partner, but the gentleman who was over the group that was going to meet at the site, at our site, he said, man, we pair people up with a sponsor, is the term he used. I'm not sure if that's the same term that they use now, but at that time, some 20 years ago, or 15 years ago now, they called people who I'm calling for this time together an accountability partner. They called them a sponsor. And man, as he began to describe how sometimes people are turned off at first because their sponsor is all in their business at first. And their sponsor is all in their business to give them the tools, to give them the strategies, to give them the tactics to help them to overcome what they said they wanted to overcome, which was drinking. But he said something interesting to me. I don't know if it was just for that group or if that's a national thing. But he said at some point, I kind of tell my sponsors to chill out. Now it's a responsibility. Now, if you see somebody is in some kind of danger or has been, a lot of days or consecutive days, of course you want to go ahead and reach out. But Put the ball in their court. Because it's one thing for me to call you, to check in on you, to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. But it's another thing for you to call and report to me. Hey, man, I'm doing a good job. Today I had an urge. Today I had an inkling. Today I wanted to, but I did what we discussed, man, and I'm fine. I'm at the house right now drinking smart water. Or whatever it is. The accountability partners, sponsors, coaches, mentors, whatever you want to call them, serve a real purpose. And some of you listening right now, you know, sometimes you turn your nose up to the idea of somebody all in your business. I get it. We don't like people all in our business. And I'm with you 1000%. I don't like people all in my business. But sometimes if I'm going to succeed, sometimes if I'm going to become the best version of myself, I need somebody to be all in my business. That's just the God honest truth. Sometimes the stuff that you don't want nobody to be in your business about is the stuff you struggle with, and you're going to keep on struggling with it until you let somebody get all in your business. Respectfully. If you think you're good at basketball and all you're dribbling with is that one hand since you've been 5 years of age, and you think you're about to get on a team and take your game to the next level, and you reject coaching, you got another thing coming. You better get somebody in your life that they're going to tell you and going to show you, not just tell you, but show you. Not just tell you, but also show you. Ooh, listen to me. Not just tell you, but show you how to use your left hand. The best coaches, the best mentees, the best accountability partners, they're not just running their mouth telling you, oh, you should be this. No. They're giving you game. Yeah, those of you from my neighborhood, you know, giving you game is giving you the tools that you need to be successful in the area that y'all discussing. If I'm horrible in the kitchen and you can't cook, hey, you just complaining. You not coaching nothing. If you can't cook either, and all you can do is almost like those people. It cracks me up when I'm in rooms, I'm in places where people are critiquing a football game. No, it's funny. Here's one. Speaking of Utah, this may be before your time. But Darren Williams used to play for the Utah Jazz, speaking of Utah. And you're talking about how he was traded from the Utah Jazz. He went to, I think, Brooklyn. And he had a head coach who, instead of giving him the tools to get better, when he saw him doing something in a game and they were going over film, and he would see that, oh, you missed this, he would always just simply say, man, if I was this, I would do this. Man, if that were me on the court, and the guy, Darren Williams, was like, man, I would always think to myself, man, you old, sit down, son. You wouldn't have done anything. And as long as he had that mindset where he was unable to receive how the guy was trying to deliver some strategies and some game, he was closed off to the tips and the tools. The guy didn't know how to explain, outside of using himself as an analogy, this is what I would have done if I would have been in your shoes. He was so hung up on the fact that that guy is not better than him. Of course, there's a 40-year age difference. Of course, he's not better than you. He was just simply giving you some information and using himself as an example. What am I saying? Accountability partners, yes, they hold you accountable. But the best accountability partners that I've ever come in contact with can also share information with you to help you level up. They can also share information with you if they're giving a critique. Oh, okay, here's my critique on that, but here are some tools. Here's an app. Here's a website. Here's something that can help you get better, overcome, and move forward in that area. So check it out. If you've been contemplating getting a coach, connecting with an accountability partner. And a rule of thumb for me is my accountability partners, for me, I look up to them. This is just me. Everybody has a different, and I get it. When you think about accountability partner, sometimes you're like, well, we're on the same level and we're struggling with the same thing. For me, that doesn't work because we just sit here trading war stories. I need my accountability partner to be somebody that I look up to. And they may not have necessarily gone through what I'm struggling with or need to be held accountable for, but they've got some skin in the game. And what I mean by that, it may not have my story, but they've got a story. It doesn't have to be an extreme story. It doesn't have to be a story that's all off the wall and they've been, prison. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying they've got some data. I'm trying to think of the name of that when I was doing my graduate studies. They had, that's what it is. They have a case study. Right? They may not have gone through they may not have struggled with weight, but they had some other mountain they climbed up. They may not have struggled with alcoholism, but they've got some mountain that they've climbed up. And they can give you evidence of such. Thus, they can give you tools and tips that will help you gain the momentum to become everything you were born to become. I hope this encourages you to stop just thinking about it'll be cool to have an accountability partner, but go actively seek out one that will aid you and help you along the way so that this year you can become everything that you were born to become. Share this message out with somebody who you know needs a coach, needs a mentor. They're working toward a goal and you just want to help them have the courage to find somebody to help them along the way. Would you subscribe? Would you like? Would you share? And as we continue to journey together, all of us, each and every day, our simple goal is to go, to grow, and to glow. Listen, thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Hope that you and yours have a wonderful rest of the week. And I'll see you next time at the same time, same place. Take care. Be good to yourself. Peace.